Alright, welcome to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk my first impressions of The Walking Dead episode 6 in season 6. This episode was called Always Accountable, I believe, and I tell you what, for me, I guess I'm so used to enjoying The Walking Dead episodes that I feel like tonight I'm like, man, something must be off with me tonight. I wasn't in the mood for that kind of episode tonight. A couple things. When I sit back and think about the episode, first off, let you guys know, for those who are subscribed to this channel, or for those of you who are new, I do a first impressions, a real quick video talking about what I thought, and then a couple days go by and I'll do an afterthoughts video, which is real in-depth. Now, CenturyLink, the whole internet went out in this street for 6 days, and it pushed the afterthoughts back terribly. So this week I'm going to have episode 4, 5, and 6 afterthoughts videos up. I apologize for that, but it was kind of out of my control. Anyway, back to this episode. You know, when I look back on it, I'm thinking the main point in this episode was Dwight. Dwight, I'm going to just call him Dwight. He has to be Dwight. He looks a little skinny, and he hasn't killed anybody. It's just kind of odd. The Dwight in the comic seemed a little more hardened. Now listen, if we weren't getting Negan and the Saviors until season 7, I could buy that. I could be like, okay, this is the beginning of Dwight's story. But since we're probably going to see the Saviors at the end of this season, from what we hear with announcements, I don't buy that he's this type. And I don't know, I'm going to hold my judgment and see how it plays out. But this episode was all about Dwight, in my opinion. If you were sitting down writing this episode, piecing it together, because what other purpose? Alright, Abraham got grenades, they established Abraham and Sasha, which I'm cool with that. I didn't jump to any conclusions. We'll let that rock out right now. I'm fine with that. And then you have what? Daryl, Dwight, and supposedly the Saviors. So this episode was about that. It was introducing Dwight pre-Burnface. With that said, you guys know I should be thrilled they did this, because back in season 5, I made the prediction, or just a suggestive video stating that I would love for them to do exactly what they just did. Do a video, and I used Glenn as an example. I said, have Glenn out on a run into Dwight. Something happens where Glenn and Dwight have to buddy up, just like they did in this episode. They get out of their trouble, and they get split up. And it's like a sad moment where Glenn can't take Dwight back, because he planned to. Glenn can't take Dwight back, and Dwight ends up eventually getting caught by the Saviors and yada, yada, yada. Now, in this one, they did the same thing, except for they used Daryl. Except for at the very end, it was kind of like, okay, they're going to go back to Alexandria, and instead of something else happening that, you know, either side couldn't defend against or couldn't stop, it was something that was out of their control. All of a sudden, Dwight's like, you know what, screw it, we're going to go back to the place that we were just complaining and bitching about. Or maybe they're just going to go on the run. Maybe that was their whole plan. They're like, we're just going to run away, so we're going to take his crossbow. Again, in the video, that's another thing I've been saying for a while, that Dwight needs to take Daryl's crossbow, and it should become like a playful rivalry eventually. It does look like they're doing exactly that. So why am I not excited about it? I just felt it was underwhelming the way it played out. Again, I'm not going to judge it the entire story, because something coming up could be super awesome with what they do with Daryl, Dwight, and yada, yada, yada. Maybe that's not even Dwight. That could be a big, huge FU. I don't know what's going on, you know? But for me personally, I didn't enjoy the way it played out. It was underwhelming. Some of the writing, to me, felt kind of weak. Again, this is odd, because I'm usually loving the episodes so much, but when they have you know, Dwight being like, oh, I beat you up, and I tied you up, and I did this, and I did that, well, you know, why did you stay? And Daryl's like, maybe I'm stupid too. It felt, it didn't feel genuine. It felt like they wrote that in there to have Daryl say that. I don't know, it felt like screenwriting 101. And then there was something else in the screenwriting that bugged me too. Oh, when I guess the Saviors were coming forward in the trucks, I guess the way it was filmed, I didn't understand how they filmed it, because it was like, okay, the Saviors are right there, they're hiding behind trees, and then all of a sudden Daryl's like, oh, come this way, and they run around a corner and no one sees where they went. I'm like, wait a minute, how did that work? Weren't they just looking right at them, or did they not know they were there and they were just talking anyway? So there was some parts where it was disconnected for me, and it it didn't play out as clearly as I thought. Now, again, I'm really glad that I don't rate the episodes in my first impressions, because I wait until my afterthoughts, because some episodes, like the Morgan, I love the Morgan episode, but I loved it even more the second time I watched it. Love that episode. I might like this episode the second time I watch it, but for a first time out, some of it is just off. The entire episode, and I'm going to make a strong fan criticism here. Very strong, Keep in mind, I'm a huge fan for those who are not familiar with me or this channel. This is my main problem with bottle episodes, and this is why I hate them so much. When they work, they work. Morgan's bottle episode, it worked. Even JSS episode 2 with just Carol and Morgan and that people in Alexandria and the wolves attack, it worked. However, this episode, it felt like there was only 30 minutes worth of material, but because it's a bottle episode and they couldn't jump back to Alexandria or anything else because of the way it's structured, there's filler. It really, really felt like that. And that is why I think that when bottle episodes work, they knock it out of the park. But when they don't work, it's noticeable. There's something wrong there. And I think that plays a big part. Saying, okay, because it's structured like this, we only have like 30 minutes of material. We're going to just let the scenes breathe and add character development. Sometimes that is completely fine. For me, it just didn't jive with me tonight. I wasn't feeling it. And yes, I do believe that is Glenn 100% at the end in the walkie-talkie. Someone told me that Daryl said in an interview it is not Glenn. Like, definitely not Glenn. I'm really hoping that he's telling the truth and it's not Glenn, because I'm kind of getting sick of just the straight lies. If you're not going to answer it, just don't even answer it. But it's getting ridiculous, like the misleading shit. Like, just don't even answer the question, because all this time it's been like, don't ask about, they've been telling, don't ask the actors about Glenn's death. We're not going to talk about that. And then now you're just going to straight up lie about something. I don't appreciate that. I'm against misleading, I like being misleading to an extent, but coming straight out and be like, it's definitely not Glenn, I'll tell you right now, because then fans are going to be like, holy fuck, who is it? Is it Carl? Is it Ron? Did somebody get trapped, or did something happen in Alexandria? And then it comes back around and it's like, oh, that was Glenn? Wow. That 3 or 4 days where we were going crazy trying to guess who it is, and we were only going crazy because you lied to us, you dick. I don't know. I might be just grumpy tonight. It could have been a cool episode. Another thing too, I might be grumpy because I'm going to make another complaint. I don't think The Talking Dead works as good as it normally does when it's pushed back. Again, honest opinion, I feel it takes away from it having to wait through some other show. I might be having a grumpy night, or I don't know. Anyway, give me your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. If I missed something, don't worry about it. We're going to go in depth in the afterthoughts video. Stay tuned this week because there's going to be an important update video. You're going to want to hear this. It's about scheduling and videos. All good news. All right, thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.